Okay, I'm planning to try to make this the very last video that we have to do. And so I'm gonna close this one out because we don't need that. I do want to make sure I save the income template. Uh, so now we got like this data that's in just like all kinds of different worksheets. We need to, in order to create a report, we need to put all this data into one big report, or one spreadsheet. And then we need to run a pivot table on it. And then after we run the pivot table doesn't look great for an income report. We need to format it so it looks good like a report. So we're going to try to do all that in this one video, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a brand new spreadsheet. I just hit Control N to create new. I know we're going to need these, like this exact column here, so first thing I'm going to do is just like paste that column in, okay? And then I'm going to expand it out for now. So like all we need to do now really, oh, I didn't need to do that. Okay. Yeah, I want to hit Control Tab, not Alt Tab. Okay. So all we need to do now is like, we'll just start from the beginning, which is Facebook advertising, and go through each section and copy and paste them. Now, the one thing that I will say that's important when we paste these is we got a bunch of formulas and VLOOKUPs and all this other stuff. And so because of that, we want to just copy as values for everything we do. So the quickest and easiest way we're going to be able to do this is it's going to be the command key if you're using Mac, but I'm using PC. So it's Control Shift down arrow. Okay. Now I'm going to hit, just holding down Shift and hit the arrow down one more time, and you can see I've gone to the last row in this section, right? So that's what that did. And then while I'm holding Control Shift, I just moved back up. I was just trying to show you that we're at the end there, but I'm holding Shift Control still, and I'm going to go to the right. And essentially what that does, and I'll hit Control C, and you'll see here that this entire part of the spreadsheet is copied now, okay? So again, I'm going to show it one more time just because after this, I'm just going to do this very quickly. So Control Shift down, and then while you're still holding Control Shift, click to the right, and then just hit Control C to copy, okay? So now, like I said, I'm just going to start pasting all this good data in, okay? And so, like, once we put that in, we're just going to go to the end and then paste the next section in. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Wow, that time it actually copied it on the first try. That was amazing. Something didn't work right that time. Now I know it was like 720. Let me hit Control Z. Something did not work right because I saw that, oh, okay, I wasn't all the way over, so pay attention, note to pay attention to that. That was an example of what not to do. So now it looks correct. Okay. So now we need to go to product sales. I am all the way over this time. Oh, usually I just click paste as values, but this works too. Okay. That looks good. And to make it a little bit like easier, I'm just gonna go really quick and click view and to freeze the panes there. So now we can actually see the columns up on top. Okay. So you can see we're already at 5,297 rows. So, and we're not even completely there yet. Okay. looks good. Already at 8,000. And I think this is the last one, right? Yeah. Cool. Not fun. Not fun at all, but... Oh, shoot. I wanted to edit it. Come on. This is my last one. Be nice to me. Okay. Ah! Because somehow I clicked and went into edit mode, it removed my copying feature there. Now it should work. Okay. So, in total, we have 8,200 rows of data, and well, that's including the column. So we have 8,199 rows. So, you know, that part took a little bit of time, but here's the good news. And the good news is creating now the actual report is not going to be that difficult. Now, there is one thing that you're going to notice that we need to change right away, and that is the date. Because we pasted as values, it used the numbers, and we want those in date format. So we just highlight those two, hit Control-1 or Command-1 on a Mac, and go to date, and we'll choose this date format because that's the one we like in the US. And now we're done. Like, we're ready to create a pivot table. I would say, like, another thing we'll want to do is, like, the description is freaking way too long. So, like, what we'll do is I'm highlighting these just, well, I'm highlighting that one too because I can't change the width of the rest of them. So these ones, the widths can be changed. Let me see here. So we're going to change the width up to column A, like to them, and then description, we'll give it like that much, and then it's okay if it just cuts off, and then the quantities and rates and all that can change. So let's change the formatting of all this, and like we can keep them all this, or no, okay, so with the quantity, we want it 3 decimals, okay, and then with the rate total, we only want like 2 decimals, and we want to use a comma separator, and that's important to do because when we create the pivot table, it's going to use those formats. So now that we got that, like, we need to just go to insert and pivot table. Now, inserting the pivot table, you can see it automatically detected how much data we had. And so we can just click OK here. So depending on what application you're using, this is all different, but the fields and all that are the same, just it might look a little different as far as how you do it. So the first thing that we want is we're going to get the rows put together. So first item is revenue and expense. Which one is it? So this is why we did this, because we want the revenue on top and the expense below. And then we're going to have the category next, okay? And then the subcategory is after that, okay? And so this gives us like all our different sections that we need. And then, like, finally, we want to go to total, or not finally, but we want to put that into values. So that's going to give us the amounts. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to take this week ending, and we want to put that in the columns field here. Okay? And so now, basically, we have a report for each of these weeks, right? Like, at the beginning, we weren't selling a lot of different products, and we weren't making, but if you look, like, if I go towards the end, you can see like a lot of these fields are filled in, right? So in here at the bottom, this actually gives us our total. So this is like actually if we made money or we didn't make money. And you're going to notice, like, we weren't making money at first, and then we started making money. So like towards the end, now we're starting to actually make a profit. So um, one thing I could see right ahead is I thought it uses the same formats, and it's not. So what I'm doing here is I'm highlighting all the number data, like these are all digits, right? And so I'm just going to change the format. I don't know if it's really even necessary to do this right now to decimal, because we still got to change something on these reports. Okay, so we got this report basically kind of like constructed, right? At least to where we want it for now. Okay, um, and so like I'm sure you notice right away, like this is really ugly looking, right? Like it's hard to see like the blank spaces. I think they'd be better if there's zeros, and like just the formatting of it just doesn't look like an income report, although it is kind of like an income report, right? So we need to change this. And so in order to change this, there's going to be a little bit of steps that we need to take to change the format. Now, unfortunately, with the pivot table, unless like I'm just not that knowledgeable enough in pivot tables, I don't know of a way to do this. But what we can do is we can take this data as is, and we could just copy it, right? So I'm going to hit Control C, and there's an extra, we'll just add an extra sheet here, and we're just going to paste this whole freaking thing in as values, and it's going to look really ugly at first. So these are dates, so I'm changing the format of these to dates. Okay, and then like it does actually kind of look a little bit easier on the eyes. Like I can move these and it looks a little bit better, right? So but it's not quite there. Like it's still really messy. So what we need to do is kind of make this like formatted prettier. And so like here, instead of you know, like revenue, and let's just expand this for now just to make it a little bit easier. So I don't want subcategory. Oh yeah, I don't want these titles here because we'll know there's subcategories and categories. And then I don't want this here, and then the week ending, I don't want that there. So here I want just revenue instead of it, in number format, like number one, number two. I just put that there so it knows, the pivot table knows to put this on the top. Okay. So I do like the format, and actually, like I just want revenue here, and let's just put it in like all caps and bold and underline it so we know. And then here's expense. So I'm just going to put expense, and then do the same thing. And then just delete this. So in essence, and then here's the grand total. We'll just put that like here for now. I don't think we need it, but this row pretty much can go away, or this, not row, but column can go away. So we got that gone. Sorry, every now and then I just want to check to make sure the recording looks like it's still recording. Scary thing if it's not recording. So so another thing that we can just do right away is I like to put the time periods. Like I know this is week ending. Wouldn't it be better if we had like an actual this date to this date? So like, well, I'm trying to think how we could do that. Yeah, I'll have to think about that later. I thought I did that before, and I'm trying to remember, because the problem is like, I think I remember how we did that. I might, let's just not worry about that for now. So sorry, I'll think about that later. Like I'm kind of getting brain dead because we've been doing so much, right? So like with challenge here, you're gonna notice like these numbers are gonna show up. Like there's a bunch of numbers on top, and see like these are showing totals for the challenge and stuff. Like I don't want it in that format, right? Like I want it like, here's the challenges, and then like down here we're going to create two rows, and this is going to be really hard to do if okay, and then I just want to put like total challenge. Okay, and then so obviously we want like this to be the sum of these. So like it's gonna be up to here, and then so we need to like copy this all the way to the end. Okay, and then like anything that's like under here, challenge and revenue, like these show the revenues up on top and stuff, and we don't want that. We don't want that at all, so I'm just deleting it. Like anything we want is just like starting from the S to spring to summer challenge. And by the way, one thing we should just do right away to make this so much easier is go to view and to freeze the panes here. So that way we have two sections. We can see like here on the left, and then we can also see up on top. And I'm gonna bold those. Okay. And we'll change some of the formatting with this later. So like that's good there. So now like clothing, you can see it just says clothing. So like what we can do is we could just say total clothing here, right? And that's fine. And like delete this one out, because you can see the numbers are exactly the same on the bottom and top because there's only one category, right? So let's just delete that out, and then boom, we already have total clothing. And so these numbers are all legit. Okay, so now coaching we need to do next. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to insert two rows here. Shoot, man, this thing's so annoying. Okay. So here we can put total coaching. Okay. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to insert sum here. And we're going to go to the end. Okay. And then here in coaching, we're going to delete this out. We don't want that section up on the top. It doesn't look very pretty to us. And then ebook, we'll do the same thing. We'll just go ahead and do that. It's probably easier to do that first, like delete this out. And then here comes the part that I love, which is trying to insert rows. Insert. And then total ebooks. So I'm doing a sum up to here, and then copy and pasting that over. That looks good, and then we ought to do the same thing for membership. And then here we got expenses. So I'm going to just add like 3 rows. It's going to work this time, watch. Yes, it worked on the first try. So total, oh, we want to put it over here. Total membership. And did we delete this already? Yes, we did. Okay, cool. Okay, so total membership. And then we'll just do a sum here again. Okay. Oh, too far. Okay. Okay. And so, like, we do need one more row here, I think. It took twice that time, by the way. Total revenue. So this should equal total membership plus total ebooks plus total coaching plus total challenge plus, oh, we forgot clothing, huh? Yeah, I mean, a formula is still going to work okay. Or we're going to double check it to make sure it's correct. So it should be okay. So it's not like super pretty, but like as far as I should have like put clothing second to last, not last, but it's okay. So like the quick way we could check, and like obviously we've done a lot, and is this correct or is it not correct, is let's go back to sheet, was it sheet 1? No, sheet 2. Okay. So we could go to revenue on top here, and we can go to the very end, and we can see what is our total, 78,149.77. Okay. Looks correct, right? The formats right now, we need to change the decimals and stuff. You can see 3706.36. So it should be 3706.36, right? Yeah, looks good. So you can tell there that we didn't screw anything up. So, and you know, luckily you always have the good undo button to fix that if you do. So, expense, you know what? And for now, we're just going to leave this up on top because okay, you may have heard me cussing, and it was because my computer went to sleep, and it never warned me that I was low bat, I don't think. And that kind of made me mad. I don't know if this recording is going to work or not. So I'm going to stop the recording here and just do another recording from this section and hope that it worked. All right, let's talk to you soon.